Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to day 5 of Awaken. We're going to start our practice by coming on down to the ground and finding a comfortable space for us. So when you get down there, just start to close the eyes as we find this heaviness and spread this all the way through the body from the tip of the toes to the crown of the head. Release any tension away from the muscles of the face and anywhere else we might be holding any tension. Just quickly scan through the body and check in with the head and neck and shoulders, all the way down the arms, through the torso, the back body, then down through the pelvis to the legs and the feet. Notice any areas of maybe tightness or stiffness. Just really become present with how you are this morning. And as always, cultivating this awareness of our breath. Tuning in with our inhales and exhales, and perhaps we slow them down just a little. And maybe we bring our hands to this space on our body where we feel our breath the most. Press pause on anything else that's happening in your day. Place the to-do list to one side and become present with everything as it is for you right here, right now. Finding 3 more beautiful, smooth, deep breaths. And on your third and final exhale, gently flutter the eyes open as we hug the knees in towards the armpits. So take them a little bit wider and bring one hand onto each knee as we take the knees out in opposite directions and then around in circles. And if anywhere feels particularly sticky here, maybe we stay in that space and send our breath there for a moment or two. Keeping it soft and gentle as we wake up the body, sending our knees in the opposite direction. And remember, their arms are just there as a guide, rather than to push the knees around with the hands. Beautiful. One more breath. And then releasing the feet to the ground, bringing the soles of the feet together as we open the knees out nice and wide, Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined bound angle pose. Keeping our lower back down towards the earth. Notice that if we have this arch in the spine, then we can put pressure on our lower back. So tilt the pelvis, send the lower back down, and breathe into this hip space we're finding. And know that we can make this, as always, work for us. So perhaps if there's space, we walk the feet in a little bit closer to the pubic bone. And perhaps we walk them out a little bit further. Finding one more breath here. Nice. And then reaching the arms forward, we lift our head, neck and shoulders off the ground and reach our fingertips towards our toes, but keeping the mid and lower back on the earth. Lifting our gaze up and forwards. Lovely long back of the neck. And then we lift a little higher. Make your breath work for you here as long as you're breathing. And then lower down halfway. Again, lift a little higher. Lower down halfway. Keep going here. Lifting your shoulders off the ground. Keeping this space in the chest and the front body as we lift and lower. Nice. And just mindfully waking up this center in our deep abdominal muscles, sending a little bit of fire to the belly. Keep everything soft. And the next time you lift up, stay there. Smile and breathe. Appreciate. Maybe you close the eyes here. Check into how this feels. If you're wobbling like a washing machine, awesome, so am I. Breathe with it. And on your next exhale, release down to the ground. Use the hands to bring the knees together. Hug them in towards you. And then float the hands to the hamstrings. Curling the chin towards the chest. We'll rock and roll up the length of our spine. And take as many rolls as feels good for you today. Maybe you take 5, maybe you take 1. Whenever you finish, make your way into a tabletop all fours. I'll meet you there. And with the wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, check in with this sturdy foundation as we spread through the fingers and root down through the tops of the feet. And making our way into cat-cow. Floating the tailbone down, arch through the spine, drop the gaze. Then lifting the tailbone and the gaze, sending the tummy down. And moving with your own breath from here, you know the drill. But really explore how this feels today. Find something new here. Maybe you wiggle your tail from side to side. Maybe you find some soft circles in the neck. Listen to what feels good for your body and wake it up in a way that works for you. And then the next time you come to cow pose, make this your last one. Before floating the spine back to center, coming to neutral, and then sending the left hand towards the center of the mat, roughly in between both of our knees. And then bringing our right hand to our chest. We'll lift our chest over towards the right side, rotating through the ribs and the spine. And then release. Start to work with your breath. Maybe we inhale as we open. Exhale as we release. Whatever we're doing, one more time, we'll open, finding space. And staying here, maybe we reach our arm towards the sky. Maybe it comes to the small of the back. Wherever you are, we're exploring this twist in the rib cage. And then coming all the way back down. Right hand replaces the left in the center. Left hand comes to the chest. We open towards the left side. And then release. Nice. 2 more times. On your 3rd time, you might like to stay here. Maybe we reach the left hand to the small of the back or all the way towards the sky. Find one more breath before softening your way into your tabletop. And from our all fours, lifting our right leg off the mat and keeping it bend in the knee, almost like we're at that weeing dog at the fire hydrant. And being mindful that we aren't sinking into our left hip. So taking our right leg a little bit lower if we need to, before finding some lovely big circles. Imagine you have a pencil on your right kneecap. You're trying to draw a nice line through space. And send your circles in the opposite direction. Nice. And then reach the right leg out to the side. Walking the hands all the way back to the hips, we find our gate pose. So keeping this nice and soft and easy. Right hand floats down the right leg. Left hand reaches all the way towards the sky. Maybe we fold over slightly. And then coming over to the left side, taking whatever support you want underneath the left knee and the left palm as the right hand reaches up or over. Nice. Keep this soft. Make sure we're breathing. Maybe we marry the movement to our breath. Just really think about creating this length through all 4 sides of the torso. Coming one more time to each side. Beautiful. And coming back to gate pose, walking the hands onto the ground and all the way into our tabletop. Same little dance on the other side, lifting the left leg up and out. Keeping the knee bent as we invite these circles. Draw that nice big line through space. In one direction and then the other. So we're giving the hips a lot of love today. And then making our way into our gate pose with our left leg out long. Walking the hands up, we'll float the left hand down the left leg, then reach for the sky. Beautiful. Keeping this heart space radiating upwards. So if we're finding this collapse in the shoulder, be mindful of that. One more time to each side. Before making your way back, gate pose, take your time to arrive there, and then to come down to your tabletop. And from tabletop, we'll meet with the knees wide, toes come into touch, sitting back in child's pose, balasana. Take a moment here in our resting posture. Know you can revisit this at any time throughout your practice. Gorgeous. And then lifting your way up, bringing the knees back to parallel. We'll tuck the toes under, and if this doesn't work for you today, you can untuck the toes, but tuck them if you can as we walk our hands back onto the thighs. Then sending our hands behind us onto the earth. Again, you can lift up onto as much support as you would like to here. We're not going for some really, really big back bend or front body opener, anything at all like that. So keep it nice and easy. We're just exploring some length. So inhaling, lifting your gaze, lift your heart. Exhale to soften. Bringing the right hand down to the ground. We'll reach the left hand all the way towards the sky. And then twist over towards the right side. So imagine you're trying to reach to grab something that's near the right side of your mat. Nice. And then make your way all the way back to center. Bring the left hand down and reach the right hand all the way for the sky. Find length first before twisting over to the left side. Keeping it nice and balanced on the lower body. Nice. Come back to center. We're going to come off the toes, untucking them, and just taking a moment to sit back in our child's pose, wiggling the feet. Maybe we rock from side to side, sending some love and space to the hips. And then everybody come to tuck the toes back under, reach the hands forwards, pressing down into the palms. We lift our hips high, make our way downward facing dog. And as our first down dog of today, take this nice and steady. Pedal through the heels, find length in the back of the legs by bending the knees. So really being kind to yourself here. Maybe we waggle the tail, maybe we find a little bit more stillness wherever we are. Come to find this awareness of the breath here. Nice. Finding one more inhale. One more exhale, and then walking the feet towards the hands at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Feet hips distance apart, head and neck hanging long. Inhaling, lifting up halfway, finding your version of a flat back today. And exhale to release. Pressing down, we rise all the way up to standing. Reach for the sky with the arms. And hands come together down at the heart in prayer as we send our sitting bone behind us. Bend our knees, find our chair pose. Keep spreading through all four corners of both feet. Make sure the knees are tracking over the toes and the toes are tracking forwards. Nice, and from your chair pose, keeping this lovely long length in the spine, we'll bring our hands to our rib cage. Then spiral just the ribs over towards the right side. And as we do this, we'll open the arms, twisting over to the right. Nice. Then make your way back to center, hands to the ribs, and then spiral the ribs over to the left side. Open the arms, reach a little wider. Keep the shoulders soft from beneath the ears, come all the way back to center. This time, hands to the heart, and lengthen the legs. Nice. Stepping the right leg back on a diagonal. Turning our right toes out slightly and like we did in our warrior one. So we're keeping our feet nice and wide to find some space in the sacrum and lower back. But this time, rather than rolling this back thigh forwards, we're rolling both thighs out externally and away from each other. As the hands float to the ribs, we bring the ribs open to the right side of our mat, getting this nice, lovely opening in the hips. And then wherever the ribs are, that's where we reach the arms. And coming to explore warrior two. Nice. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, rooting down through all four corners of both feet, even that knife edge of that back foot. Take a breath here. And then bringing the left hand down the left leg, reaching it all the way down until we meet our toes, and then bringing it forwards. Keep reaching forwards as we lift towards the sky. Right hand slides down the right leg, and we lift our gaze up. Reverse warrior, keeping the front knee bent and the back leg long. Taking one breath here before lifting our way back, warrior two. Nice. I know the legs might be talking to you here, so listen to them. Embrace the strength. And then bending the left elbow, we'll bring the left forearm to the thigh as the right hand comes to the rib cage, and we help guide our rib cage over towards the right side as the right hand lifts towards the sky or over. Reverse side angle pose. Nice. And just take a few breaths here. Maybe if you practiced this before and you have the space, you can bring the left hand down either onto a brick or block or the earth. Finding one more breath before lifting all the way up. Press down through the feet and then step that back foot to meet the front foot and wiggle it out. Nice. Finding the same little dance on the other side. Left leg steps back on a diagonal, turning our left toes out. Find this external rotation in the thighs. Hands come to the ribs as they come over to the left side. Wherever the ribs are, that's where the arms reach. Gaze forwards, drishti, or focus on our front fingertips. Keeping this soft but strong. Think about that. Think about how we can portray this in our asana movement practice. And then floating the right hand down the right leg. We'll reach it forwards. Keep reaching as we rise and lift back. Reverse warrior. This left hand stays on the thigh or the calf. And then making your way back, warrior two, arms reach. Taking a couple of breaths here. Before bending that elbow, bringing the forearm to the thigh, left hand to the rib cage as it opens out to the left side and find space in the left arm. Beautiful. Maybe you reach forwards or up towards the sky, finding whichever variation works for you today. And then pressing down through the feet, we rise all the way back up, warrior two, and stepping that back foot to meet the front foot, mountain pose, inhaling to reach the arms high. Exhale, fold forwards and curl down towards the ground. Enjoy this. Bend the knees in your Uttanasana. And then bringing the left hand to the center. Maybe we lift onto some height, a brick or a block. And everybody drawing our arrow back with the right arm, reaching it all the way up and either to the small of the back or towards the sky. As we do this, we'll bend our left knee and start to straighten through the right leg. Finding some movement in our spine and our twist. Nice. Take a breath here. And on your exhale, make your way back down and the right hand replaces the left. We draw our arrow back and reach, bending that right knee and straightening through the left. One more breath here. And then releasing, everybody curling and rolling your way up to standing in your mountain pose. Hands come together at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're feeling awesome. Have an amazing rest of your day. And from my heart to yours, namaste.